Everything from breezy beaches, numerous mountains, to neat tourist spots and bustling commercial centers. San Diego's coastal desert climate creates the perfect environment for all residents, tourists, and wildlife to live and travel all year round. According to the 2022 United States Census Bureau, the city covers 325.88 square miles of land on the Pacific coast of California and is the eighth largest city of the U.S. Many different demographics make up the 1,381,162 people that populate this city, such as the 19.6% who are under 18 and the 13.3% who are 65 and older. Culturally and ethnically, the 2021 U.S. Census indicates that San Diego, especially in its central core, is much more diverse than most other U.S. cities. Diversity in San Diego can be framed in many different ways. Historically, San Diego's first inhabitants were the Kumeyaay people, as stated in the 2019 article from San Diego 250. After Spaniard expeditions, it became the first settled city of California, establishing a prospering port and military site in 1769. Mexican culture is also heavily ingrained within its history due to its geographical location. Today, San Diego strives to recognize its Kumeyaay, Spanish, Mexican, and American culture in its urban fabric. San Diego's major industries are also diverse. A 2014 edition of Forbes magazine listed it as one of the best cities to do a startup based on its job growth, income level, community engagement, and access to resources. The San Diego Economic Development Corporation's 2015 article lists its major industries: international trade, manufacturing, tourism, and military. San Diego also strongly invests in a business for clean tech. Sustainability has always been a strong priority for the city. The City of San Diego's General Plan document, released in 2008, dates their first sustainability assessment in 2002, when the City Council adopted the San Diego Sustainable Community Program in order to address climate change impacts. From there on, they have participated in goals of lowering greenhouse gas and producing net zero carbon. Their plan also lists a range of topics including habitat and wildlife conservation, agriculture, and environmental education. San Diego's Sustainability Plan, which was adopted this year of March 2023, strives to implement 6 strategies, 21 measures, and 17 performance targets. The plan is built on a system of 190 supporting and foundational actions through the emphasis of governmental and local community partnership. The 6 strategies outlined by the city focus on the main topics of decarbonization of the environment, access to clean and renewable energy, mobility and land use, circular economy and clean communities, resilient infrastructure and healthy ecosystems, and emerging climate actions. All of these strategies aim to accomplish the 3 pillars of sustainability while incorporating actions that are both adaptive and mitigative. San Diego has already made much progress, such as the increase of electric vehicles stated in the city's 2021 Regional Electric Vehicle Gap Analysis Report. The United Nations website also highlights the city's SDGA Recognition Award for 2021 for its annual campaign, Feed People, Not Landfills, for addressing the Sustainable Development Goals, zero hunger, responsible consumption and production, and partnerships through social actions. Because of San Diego's long history of environmental, economic, and social diversity, there is much growth in the city. In this video, we will dive into how this busy city is now making efforts to further implement sustainability by exploring its specific social, economic, and environmental goals. First, let's hit on the social aspects of the Climate Action Plan. The plan's commitment to net zero emissions by 2035 is a landmark goal. This ambitious target will not only combat climate change, but also improve the air quality and overall life in San Diego. Just picture yourself as you go on a jog, or walk your dog, or even hang out with your friends. Imagine how much more enjoyable it is as you can be at ease that the air you breathe is not filled with toxins. However, for San Diego to achieve this, the decarbonization of built environment strategy is a key component. This strategy is aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions from the buildings and improving indoor air quality as well. Now, to talk about the economic side of the plan. The access to clean and renewable energy strategy will definitely be a game changer. This strategy is not simply about achieving environmental milestones, but it's also about driving economic growth and innovation. By transitioning to 100% renewable energy and electrifying the city's vehicle fleet, San Diego is paving the way for a more sustainable, robust economy. A robust economy would of course also bring about investments in the city, which would mean that more things get built in San Diego, leading to more jobs, creation, and better wages, which would be positive for the city's residents. They also plan on creating a more sustainable urban environment. This is the main goal of the circular economy and clean communities aspect of the plan. This plan calls for an increase in trash diversion rate to 90%, which will drastically cut down the amount of waste dumped in landfills. The plan also seeks to absorb methane emissions from wastewater treatment plants and landfills, which would lower the amount of dangerous greenhouse gas emissions. They also plan to increase access to wholesome food, as it would not only advance environmental objectives, but also improve the health and well-being of the population, leading to better quality of life and happier citizens. Another noteworthy part of the plan is its strategies for adapting to and mitigating the effects of climate change, which is the main goal of the Resilient Infrastructure and Healthy Ecosystems strategy. This would involve reviving natural ecosystems, like salt marshlands, and greening towns, especially the towns that are most impacted by climate change. This would also create much more livable communities for the local population. The City of San Diego's Climate Action Plan also outlines many environmental sustainability initiatives, the two most impactful of which are decarbonization of the built environment and improving mobility and land use. Decarbonization of the built environment involves decreasing CO2 emissions from all buildings in the city. It consists of three main branches. First, the city plans to phase out natural gas use in existing buildings 45% by 2030 and 90% by 2035. This will be done through completing a comprehensive survey of all buildings in the city and identifying opportunities to decarbonize. Then, the city plans to increase on-site water reuse and irrigation in buildings, as well as installing cool roofs to reflect more sunlight and decrease AC energy demands. These efforts are projected to decrease San Diego's CO2 emissions by 2 million megatons by 2035. Second, the city plans to eliminate natural gas from new building developments. This will be done primarily through developing and adopting building electrification policy that requires a new resident and commercial buildings to eliminate natural gas and increase energy efficiency, implement distributed energy generation and energy storage systems, and increase the number of EV charging stations. These efforts are projected to create a 100,000 megaton decrease in CO2 emissions by 2035. Third, the city plans to decarbonize various public facilities such as streetlights and government-funded recreational facilities. This will be done primarily through making small improvements to public infrastructure, such as converting all streetlights and traffic lights to LEDs, exploring auto-dimming technologies for streetlights, and implementing renewable electricity generation to power public facilities. These efforts are projected to decrease San Diego's CO2 emissions by 30,000 megatons by 2035. Improving mobility and land use involves decreasing CO2 emissions from travel-related sources, such as emissions from cars, and consists of three main branches. First, the city aims to increase public transit use. 10% of all resident trips will be through public transit by 2030 and 15% by 2035. To encourage the public to use modes of public transport, such as buses, the city will ensure that every high-volume transit stop has bus shelters, including shade structures and benches. They will also implement a street furniture program that reduces heat exposure, prioritizes natural shade, and provides cool transit stops, and improves access to nearby restrooms and high transit use areas. These efforts are projected to decrease San Diego's CO2 emissions by 230,000 megatons by 2035. Second, the city aims to increase remote working. This will be done through increasing the public's access to digital technologies, especially focusing on middle to low income communities, through the government-funded programs that loan mobile hotspots and personal computers to residents and set up public Wi-Fi access at city libraries, recreation facilities, and various public areas. There will be a projected 6% reduction in citywide vehicle miles by 2035, which constitutes a 240,000 megaton CO2 emissions decrease. Third, the city aims to decrease the amount of driving overall. This will be done through expanding urban green space and pedestrian infrastructure such as sidewalks, crosswalks, and pedestrian bridges to encourage San Diego citizens to walk to their destinations. This initiative is projected to decrease per capita vehicle travel miles in all trips by 15% in 2035, which will lead to a 600,000 megaton reduction in CO2 emissions. Based on this evidence, we have determined that San Diego's climate action plan is sufficient in its present state, with its existing strategies such as mobility and land use, waste regulation, and healthy food distribution. According to the City of San Diego, the main focus of sustainability relies on taking accountability to achieve zero carbon emissions over the next decade. Annual reports are utilized to highlight the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions since the initiation of the plan. Additionally, the city values its commitment to becoming increasingly reliant on renewable energy resources. Implementations highlighted in the 2018 San Diego Climate Action Plan revolve around mitigation of waste capture, utilization of green space, building resilient structures, and the restoration of ecosystems. While these measures are adequate, room for improvement is always an opportunity that can be taken into consideration to enhance the goal of overall sustainability. For instance, the Resilient Infrastructure and Healthy Ecosystem section of the 2018 Climate Action Plan denotes the efforts to achieve the restoration of 700 acres of salt marshland and other associated tidal and riparian basins by 2035. Although there are several implementations and practices such as the protection and restoration of wet marshland, the addition of biodiversity conservation or agroforestry could be a catalyst to strengthen the goal of sustainability. By incorporating this initiative, the City of San Diego can protect the current state of the environment and prevent further loss or damage. Furthermore, as stated in the Access to Clean Energy and Renewable Energy section of the Climate Action Plan, San Diego intends to maintain its commitment to 100% renewable energy through infrastructure and energy distribution throughout the city. San Diego underscored receiving financial funding through grants, bonds, and loans. However, gaining certifications for their strategies can aid in funding and assist with support from other sustainably aligned organizations. The United States Green Building Council heavily aligns with the goals of San Diego's Climate Action Plan. To specify, the Green Building Council provides Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design Certification, or LEAP, which provides a globally recognized symbol of sustainability and achievement, and it is backed by an entire industry of committed organizations. The Green Building Council's website mentions a variety of overlapping goals, such as enhancing community quality of life, reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, climate change regulation, the protection and restoration of water resources, and biodiversity. Certifications such as this may help the City of San Diego gain credibility and lead to further opportunities to reach their sustainability goals by 2035. We believe that San Diego's comprehensive climate action plan is an effective driver for sustainability in San Diego, which will help the city adapt to a changing environment and do its part to ensure that life on Earth as we know it will continue to prosper for many generations. The following are citations. Thank you.